That's just the next me, Patty. So please come keep me comfortable. There you go. That's in your way. Welcome everybody to the Pikes Peak Area Council of Governments. This is the Water Quality Management Committee. It is October 15th, 2025. We're in person here at PPACG's office, and we have folks online as well. We're going to do a quick introduction. I'm Jonathan Moore, the chair of the Fountain Sanitation District in Lower Fountain. Let's start on my left. We'll go to Angie, and we'll go around and hit all these folks in back here.
Angie Martell, Environmental Planner at PPACG.
Brandon Bernard, Operations Manager, Security, Water, and Sanitation Districts. Bill Weissong, County Commissioner. Bill Hill, General Manager, Security, Water, and Sanitation Districts. Evan Brown, General Manager of Cherokee Metro District.
Hi, and I'm Patty Whitlow with Colorado Springs Utilities.
Thank you. Sure, it's been a while since you and I have worked together. I'm getting old. It's, it happens to the best of us. All righty. Andy, do we have a quorum? Yes. Awesome, thank you. Okay, any changes to the agenda today? Hearing none, I'm going to approve it by consent. Approval of meeting minutes, any changes to those? Hearing none, we're going to approve that by consent as well. Item number 4, public comments. Anybody have any comments they'd like to make in the public or online? Did we, you know what, I forgot to hit all the online folks, Angie. Let's go. Everybody online, please introduce yourself. Let's start with first name alphabetical.
I'm Adam Summers with OperaWorks DBO.
And Ash, Green Mountain Falls, but Caleb Patterson is replacing me, I believe. Thank you.
Connie King, environmental attorney and engineer.
Karen Rowe, regional grant navigator. And for me, the voices in the room are very difficult to hear. It has like a noise issue, but I didn't know if other people was noticing that too. The people who are calling in, I can hear clearly, but the people in the room, it's very fuzzy.
I agree. This is Anne. Thank you.
I'm having the same issue. This is Darren.
I agree.
Okay.
This is Connie.
And such here in the room is going to speak with that. Let's continue with introductions.
J.D. Shivers with Woodman Hills Metro District.
Paul Eads, Woodman Hills.
Darren Adami, Stratmore Hills Water and Sanitation District.
Wesley Lozano here with Garver.
It does send it to me. All right, welcome everybody. This is Sharon. Okay. I'd like to also recommend Jared here from PPACG. Thank you, Jared, for helping us out, as always. Not having any public comment. Item number 5. a site application water and wastewater treatment plant. Yeah, yes, please. Is Mike on, Jed?
Running Council Member, that is better. Matt Benson, Red and Wastewater. That's, I think Adam Summers is right on half of there.
Right here.
Okay. So it's, basically doing is upgrading our wastewater treatment plant. Just a little bit of history. The Red and Wastewater system has been serving the area since, believe it or not, but middle 1960s, right around 1965. In 1986, we upgraded tremendously to an SBR that's been operating pretty well ever since. But as standards changed at the time, we needed to an upgrade just to meet the standards for the state and the health department. And so we've been operating the SBR for many years successfully, but we're upgrading, and Adam can probably add more specificity if anybody needs it, but it's basically an MBR package plan, pretty advanced treatment after many meetings and a lot of time searching exactly what would be the best one. Adam is terrific in helping us get this done, so it's going to be a very advanced system. Most of the work we're going through is with the Cherry Creek Basin and with the state, but we certainly appreciate you guys and the opportunity to work with you as we're along the way. So thank you very much.
Questions from Adam? From Adam after this?
Adam, everybody good at Adams for this?
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm having trouble hearing the committee.
Adam, we can hear you really well.
Yeah, but I'm having trouble hearing Matt, but I can make out most of what the committee is saying. I heard my name mentioned a couple times, and Matt, I heard you walk through the history of the plant.
That's it. If you want to present anything, or if you want to have any questions for Adam, Adam, can you hear us?
I can hear a little bit. I don't know if it's possible, if there are any questions, if you could paste them into the chat, and then I can respond verbally.
The doesn't appear to be exceptions at the moment, Adam. If I can jump in, we can try to mitigate this, but I'm going to do is basically unplug and plug back into the audio. That's going to take about 30 seconds to
try to mitigate. That's kind of what we'll have to do if that works for everybody.
Oh,
Yep, go ahead.
Whatever just happened, that fixed everything.
Okay. Super.
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly now. Great.
I didn't do anything, but okay.
How is it for everyone else online?
I'm good on my end.
I can hear it
Good
now.
now.
Sounds a lot
Thank
better.
you.
Thank you.
Much
Yes,
better.
got it fixed.
I don't know what I did, but you're welcome.
You're a
Why
genius.
Jared gets paid the big bucks. Yep.
That's right.
Okay. So do we want to turn over to Adam or do we just want to open it up to questions? Because we have heard Adam's presentation several times before.
I think we addressed a lot of the questions. There was a list that I was able to address with Mr. Moore, but I didn't know if anyone had any else. Adam, do you have any remarks you'd like to make?
Oh, so this is we've been in front of the committee before and presented the containerized membrane bioreactor as a very robust replacement. The committee had a number of comments that we've been working through with primarily with Angie, going back and forth with the corporation's consultants, and I believe that we've responded affirmatively to the comments they had. But if there's anything open or discussion items, now would be a great time to go over them.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to open it up to questions from the committee. Go ahead, Angie.
Okay, this is Angie Martell with PPACG. So one of the concerns that the committee had brought to this project was addressing the sludge that's being stored on site. I had received an estimate for what it would look like to remove that, but it sounds like that hasn't been taken care of yet. So I'm just curious what your plans are for that.
Thanks, Angie. So I'm working with Terragenesis, Ricky, And he wanted us to dry it just a little more. He came out and looked over everything. Looks like it's about 3 roll-offs, but we're just drying it a little more. So we're scheduled for Tuesday, November 11th to remove 3. You should more than cover it. So, yep.
Yes, Roy.
I guess this is on. Jonathan, I had some questions, and it seemed like the more I dug into it, the more questions I had. But I think the original application was in the name of the Walden Water and Sanitation District, and I couldn't find that entity exists. Found a couple of metro districts, but they don't seem to have much involvement in the operation of the facility.
Right.
And I guess, so the problem is, I think we have a certain responsibility as the Water Quality Management Committee to verify the ability of the facility to be operated by a going concern. And I was unable to verify that. And I guess with the district, some of that is verifiable through state records, and I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I'd be glad to answer that question.
Okay.
I met with Mr. Moore a couple of months ago, and I could definitely see that. We've since modified the names on the application. Walden Corporation is the entity, and it has been operating literally since 1963, serving the area. There is a metropolitan district in place that can eventually take over ownership and control, but for the time being, it's the entity that it's always been since its articles of incorporation in 1963. It's been serving the Walden area there. So thank you very much for helping us clear that out. But yes, it is Walden Corporation.
So this is the part where I'm getting way outside my lane, but
it's okay.
I thought that a private company was overseen by the Public Utilities Commission with regard to rates and finances, stuff like that.
Yes.
So
we communicate with the PUC on a pretty regular basis, and hasn't been a problem. Everything's, we're in communication with them, but eventually it will be a metropolitan district. Walden's kind of unique in a way because it started out, being ran by those who founded the area and built it. Right now, Walden serves 300 and some houses. Eventually it's going to serve quite a bit more. It serves an elementary school and also a middle and high school. And so been serving the area for a long time. And yes, you're right. It is a bit unique. And so that's an excellent question too. And that is something that we've always looked at and addressed. But no problem. You're not outside your lane. You're fine. It's just a little more background information. So thank you.
Well, I guess where I'm going with that is, so your rates are approved by the PUC?
We run it by them from time to time, and we're also comparable with similar districts such as Woodmore Water and Sand, Donala, Triview, that also serve in the area. We're a little smaller than them, but we're within the rate structure of where they are.
Okay. I guess I'm just trying to understand how we as a committee can verify, again, that the Walden Corporation is going to continue as a going concern and provide that service to the residents.
Yeah. I think it's a fair question that you ask, and I would say that it's something that we've always addressed. And so with not only being comparable to other areas, but also in communication from time to time with the PUC. So it's a good question, and it's insightful. So we're in good shape there.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure my question was answered because what I'm getting at is how can we independently verify through either financial reports or an approval process through the PUC or we're all overseen by elected boards of directors, and state statute, and so on and so forth.
Right.
And I'm trying to understand how the residents in the Walden area are.
Well, I think you've answered the question in the first part of your question, which is, we do communicate with the PUC from time to time, and they're in good shape. They know who we are, we know who they are, and we do communicate with them.
Okay.
Matt, do you have any documentation of those conversations?
Not in front of me, but we do. It's been probably 5 years since we've talked to them, but Not with me, but we do. I mean, it's more just communication. It's pretty informal because it's pretty simple. But yeah.
I mean, I think to Roy's point, we're looking for something where you've submitted your rates to them and they've said, hey, this is approved. Am I getting the right?
I thought they had a pretty rigorous public process for that approval. And
yeah,
so
well, one of the things that's also known by them, and we formed a metropolitan district that will eventually take over and run the owners and have the ownership and operation of the waste, the system. Yeah.
So I've only been on this committee for 5 years or so, and I don't think I'm out of line in saying that this is the first time that in all the applications we reviewed that members of the committee have tried to delve into the finances of the agency that's running it. I think it's certainly a valuable concern, but I'm really confused as to why we're spending so much time on this with this particular district/corporation when we've never had that level of oversight on any other applications that we've received from private entities or public entities.
And the other thing I would also add to that is there are entities that we do communicate with. So good point. And there are entities that we do communicate with on that. We've been around for, pretty much 60, a little more than 60 years. So thank you. Yeah, but we do communicate though. And so appreciate your comment.
Well, Kevin, I guess in response to your question, I can go to the state auditor and get a copy of your audit. I can go to the Division of Local Government and get a copy of your budget. So that's independently verifiable. And that's the core of my question is how do we independently verify?
Well, are you going to the state auditor and looking at every district's audit that applies for a lift station or a wastewater treatment plant as part of your due diligence? I remember 2 years ago, we approved a sort of limited, like a septic system plus for the Broadmoor, one of their remote properties. And I don't remember us discussing at all whether or not that entity would continue operating for 10 years.
Yeah, this is an upgrade that we're very thankful for. Thank you. And we're proud of it and we're excited to see it get done. So we appreciate you guys as it's almost it's a necessary step in the process, but just know that the state and other entities are pretty rigorous in their processes too. So, from an environmental perspective, this is very important to be able to do. The plant is outdated and definitely, with new standards, definitely we need to step it up and we need to meet the new standards. And the Cherry Creek Basin's entities we're working with and many other different entities, with the state and all different types of entities. So we appreciate you guys as a step in the process, and we're looking forward to getting this done. So we do need, yes, John.
Man, I want to address Kevin's question a little bit. At previous meetings, your question came up amongst all of us. Why are we even talking about finances? And for the record, the lot that I bought in Black Forest is right next to Walden Preserve. As a matter of fact, I bought it from Matt Dunstan. So I've known Matt for a long time, and I want to make sure everybody knows that. And again, we've had one-on-one conversations about this. And it's been my experience. Matt is a developer. That's what he does. I've had negative experiences with other developers, not necessarily Matt, that have tainted this process, meaning I've seen developers come in, create something like this, and then walk away and leave all the people hanging. And I brought those concerns to the other board members. Again, I'm not talking about Matt, but because of others' actions, Matt gets caught in the crosshairs. And again, to Roy's point, we're all entities that have voting boards, and we can look at the finance. So this is a very unique situation, and we want to make sure everybody's taken care of. But you're both are bringing up valid points that we're having. That's why we're having these discussions, I think.
Okay.
So I just wanted to make that now. Rory, did you have a comment on that?
Well, I guess, there's nothing nefarious on my part. I've never met Matt as far as I recall. I just kind of stumbled into this because I'm looking at Walden Water and Sanitation District, and it's like, Walden, that's up in the northern part of the state. So what the heck? And I look it up, and there is no such entity.
Yeah.
And every time I asked another question of myself, it led me down this road. So,
sorry for that confusion. Thank you. Now, you're totally good and no problem at all. And in this process, you did help refine us because we got the names and all the proper names right. So thanks very much. And I totally appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Yes, Angie, please
I'd
go ahead.
also like to say that I think there was some initial concerns that there's not a lot of transparency with how you operate, how you collect rates and how you use them.
Yep.
And that is another reason that we started looking into this.
Sure.
Additionally, our 208 plan doesn't have, which this is a deficiency of our 208 plan, doesn't have sort of a checklist of
Yeah.
you need to look at this, this, and this, and that's why we haven't looked at it in the past. Potentially, I wasn't here either. But because there was a concern initially with the transparency is why
Makes
we
perfect sense.
went
Yep.
into there.
Thank you. Yep.
And I do commend Matt for upgrading this. But to
Yeah.
Roy's point, when he brought it up, we couldn't find it. We're like, what's going on here? Is this
And you
a
guys
little
were very
bait and switch kind of thing?
you guys were very helpful for us, so I want to thank you for that, especially just the two-way communication and getting, the names refined and stuff like that. There's a little disconnect there, but thank you guys very much for that. Yep.
Okay, I'm going to bring it back to the committee again for additional comments or questions.
Do you have a timeline for when the Metropolitan District would be taking it over?
It'd probably be, my guess is it'll be about the time we get the stuff done. We're trying to work with banks and do some capitalizing of stuff, figuring out the cost of this and things like that. Yep. But it's already formed. Yeah. So it's just a matter of timing on that. There's a lot of flexibility and things you can do as an entity that we just want to maintain that flexibility to get going and move quickly, get this thing upgraded and approved. Because Metro districts have engineers, and Jonathan, I'm sure, knows this too, but they review a lot of stuff for how well it serves. So this is preliminary stuff for that. Yep.
Okay, yes, Kevin.
So we've been operating an MBR plant for 3 years at this point. So
Yeah.
I can give you my contact information after the meeting.
Okay,
and
thank you.
Let us know if you have any questions or want to tour our facility.
We would very much appreciate that. We've toured a lot of the local facilities, and every single time we get a wrinkle of really good information. So I totally welcome that, and we'll take you up on that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's huge. Yeah. MBRs are fundamentally different than SBRs, require a little more maintenance and stuff like that. Yep.
Okay, any other questions, comments?
Appreciate you guys.
Hearing none, so I'm going to bring it back to the committee for a motion one way or the other.
I move that we approve this site application.
Okay, is there a second?
Wally, I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion for approval. We have a second. All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay. I believe, Angie, the ayes have it.
One opposed, is that correct?
That's what I heard, but okay. I would like our concerns to be moved forward as part of the record, especially Roy's concerns. Okay.
And Jonathan, I just want to clarify that I don't dispute the need for the facility. It's absolutely needed.
Sure.
But I just don't think as a committee that we've met our responsibility under Reg 22. So I can't unknow the things that I know. And yeah, maybe I shouldn't have known them, but I do. So I just feel like we need more information from the PUC or something. I'm not sure the process is being followed, and I would like that assurance. But anyway, vote's been taken, so thank you.
No,
Thanks for being here, Matt.
Sure.
And your notes will be passed on to CDPHE as well as PPACG. And Matt, if that's something you can get in the near future,
Sure.
as the applicant,
Sure.
that's just going to help you.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, thank you.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you.
All right, item number 5B, site application, Widefield Water and Sanitation District, their force main extension, and I received a text message from the city that Yes, please. Okay, thank you.
It's going where?
So our process after the Water Quality Management Committee is it goes to PPACG's Community Advisory
Gotcha.
Committee
Okay, thank you.
and then our board.
Okay, thank you.
Brandon has a fancy name for it that none of us.
I was just at the National Water Utility Council meeting yesterday, and acronyms are where it's at.
Thank you. Okay, item 5B, Widefield Water and Sanitation. Again, I've got a text message from Ben Sheets, the city engineer, that they have addressed their comments. They've addressed my comments. I just want to make sure that was part of the record, and I will turn it over to Widefield if they're here. Yeah, Wesley's online, so go ahead, Wesley.
Hi, thank you. Yeah, I'll be representing Whitefield today, and I'd be happy to, there may be a few new faces here, so I'd be happy to go through our presentation again. I know we've gone through it a couple times, so if it would be to anybody's benefit, please let me know, and I can kind of go through and we can recap sort of what we're looking
I would
at
like that
here.
for the record, Wesley,
Okay.
and just bring up probably a big picture map and just kind of walk us through it really quick.
Yep, not a problem. So I'll start here. Project location, the vast majority of this project is happening within the city of Fountain city limits. We have been coordinating closely with the city throughout the design process here to make sure that, again, as you stated, that your concerns are alleviated and your needs are met. Essentially, what this project consists of is an extension of an existing force main that runs along Mesa Ridge Parkway. We're tying into it here. That will be crossing over to Cross Creek Avenue, down Mesa, and then we'll be running up between the two railroads, and then discharging here at Widefield's wastewater plant. Essentially, the purpose of this is to avoid potential capacity exceedance at the existing interceptor where this force main is discharging to. So we're just going to be bypassing that discharge point and bringing flows directly to the plant using this new 16-inch section of force main. Let's see. We do have, a variety of methods that we're going to be using to control the site here. So, we have some easements that we're going to be acquiring between Mesa Ridge and Cross Creek, and then along Mesa Road, and then also a few, or one here along Willow Spring before we get to the plant. The rest of this is going to be within either CDOT right-of-way, the City of Fountain right-of-way within the road, or we'll be getting a utility license agreement with the railroads to cross their right-of-way as well. And if there's any questions here, I'd be happy to entertain those. Yeah.
Yeah, Wesley, this is Brandon with Security Water and Sanitation District. So you'd mentioned that the current force main's a 12-inch, and you'll be tapping into that, running a 16, kind of a different route to the plant. But in the previous meeting, you said that the 12-inch was not going to be abandoned, that it was still going to be in use. Do they ever reconnect at some point, or how does that work once you get closer to the wastewater plant?
Yep. So they don't reconnect. Essentially, what's happening here is we're just leaving the existing the back end of that 12-inch force main alone, and we're going to be isolating it with some valving here at the tie-in location, so that it can be utilized if needed as sort of a backup. So if something did happen to this line and they needed to bring it down for repairs or something, they still have that as a backup to be able to discharge through. But this will be the primary flow path that they'll be expecting to use. once it gets built.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions, comments? Hearing none.
Jonathan,
please.
I just wanted to refresh my memory on the path that this project has taken. This has been through the Lower Fountain and recommended for moving forward to this group
Yes, it has. And the SARC.
and the SARC. Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Thank you, Roy. Any other questions, comments? Hearing and seeing none. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to move this forward to PPACG.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second that, Jonathan.
All right. Thank you. All right. All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none. Thank you.
I believe we might need a separate second, considering
Yeah, we're both from
the same entity.
That is true.
So I withdraw my second.
Okay. Is there somebody else would like to make a second on this?
I'll make the second. This is Darren Adami.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. We now have a valid second. Thanks, Brandon. All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none. Okay, thank you. The next item, 5C, is a site application from my district. I'll present on that, and then I'm going to turn it over to the vice chair for any discussion and so forth. Can we go ahead and bring up my slides? Maybe not. Jared's going to bring them up for me. There we go. Thank you. So we had a lift station that was built in 1955. It was just a manhole that was put in a roadway / sidewalk. That deteriorated pretty rapidly last year. I got together with some vendors, and we decided to replace that really, really quick. We were having to pump it out weekly and maintenance it every other day, it seemed like. It serves about 25 homes, so it's pretty small. Go ahead and go to the next slide. So we went from one manhole that you see here. These are the drawings from 1955, several modifications over the years, to 2 concrete vaults. Go ahead and proceed to the next. So for the safety of our crews, we decided to pull all the valves out of the existing manhole and create a valve vault, which would be dry and easier to maintain. And then we have a wet well where, again, we have 2 pumps, 1 backup pump, obviously, and the flows all stay the same. We just placed new equipment on everything. And our crews are very, very happy that we did this. It's been constructed. It's been paved. The city of Fountain approved it. We felt it was kind of an emergency situation. That's why we didn't go through the Lower Fountain or the SARC. And but CDPHE said, no, you've skipped some steps and we need all those steps taken. So I apologize for that. And we are right now trying to get approvals from CDPHE. And I'll answer any questions that you might have.
So this hasn't been through Lower Fountain?
No, it was.
Oh, it was?
Yep.
Okay. And the SARC?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. After it was built, though, Roy.
He's asking for forgiveness.
And is the only modification adding this valve vault, or was that added in a previous modification?
Yeah, it was adding that valve vault. It was not there before. It was just one manhole with this nasty little deck that you couldn't even stand on or you'd fall through into the water.
And are you making any modifications to the pumps or any of the electrical controls while you're down there?
We got a new control panel since we were doing this. These are all new pumps. Flows are all the same. Just everything's new. I will turn it back to the vice chair.
So our vice chair is not here, but the third vice chair is Roy.
Now I'm in trouble.
Anybody want to table this? No, I guess I would just entertain a motion to move this forward. This would go to PPACG. Okay. So if anybody wants to make that motion.
This is Wally. I'll make the motion to forward it on to PPACG.
Thanks, Wally.
This is Darren. I'll second it.
Thanks, Darren. Been moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Thanks, Jonathan. You can have the chair back.
Thank you. Item number 6, discussion items, gray water discussion. Do we have anybody here from El Paso County Public Health?
I don't believe so, but go ahead.
Yeah, Kat couldn't make it today. She had something else going on today. Mark Christensen, Colorado Springs Utilities. Talked to Kat with El Paso County. This is more discussion item just to make people aware that last year House Bill 241362 was passed, where entities need to either develop a gray water program or opt out through an ordinance or a resolution banning gray water in their area. So currently discussing this with Kat, Pikes Peak Regional, because they need to be a part of it as well. So without Kat here, I don't want to speak too much to it. It's more of getting people in a room and moving this discussion forward, whether or not the area wants to adopt gray water as a reuse use.
Okay, any questions, high-level questions? Yeah.
Are there any current rules for gray water? Are there any residences around El Paso County that are currently using gray water? And if so, what's the adoption rate currently?
So currently it's not, at least utility territory, it's not approved. So if there was interest in it, there would need to be a program set up. Other entities that have set up a program, City and County of Denver, believe it's Castle Rock. To be honest, they haven't had much interest. They adopted a program back in 2013-15 timeframe, and the latest thing I've seen, there's been, each of those entities only have about 30 like homes or commercial buildings that have gray water systems. So as it pertains to actual like approved gray water systems in the county, shouldn't be any.
Any other questions or comments? Yes, please.
Thank you, Chair. This is Bill Weissong. Do we have a good definition of gray water?
I was just going to ask if CSU wanted to take a stab at that.
Yeah, so just a high level definition of it. It's just water collected from your home, like showers, laundry. It's collected and then used for like landscape irrigation. Does that suffice? Definition is, it's not like black water where, you know, where we need to go to like a wastewater treatment plant or something like that, be treated and then used for irrigation. That's would be reclaimed water. Regulation 84, Regulation 86, the gray water control regulation covers gray water, which is kind of a little cleaner than black water. Does that?
So no water coming from the toilet is supposed to be mixed into this.
Yeah, I can come from like urinals, but not other toilets. So, from my understanding.
No, I don't think urinals either.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not, I don't think it's urinals.
Well, thank you for that clarification.
Yeah.
So you said Reg 86?
Correct.
Thank you.
Regulation
Yeah.
86.
My comment is, anybody who owns an RV, most of it have a gray water and a black water tank. And that really describes kind of what we're doing here. But as far as our district's concerned, I don't think we're going to be opting into this because this is extremely problematic. I have pushed over the years for non-pot water. So what is non-pot water? That's water that's non-drinking water, but can be used for irrigation. I think there's a huge market and I would push for non-pot water, but I would not be pushing for gray water at this time.
Yeah, in Colorado Springs Utilities, I manage the regulatory side of the reclaimed water coming from our wastewater plants. And yeah,
that would be non-pot. What he's talking about is non-pot.
Non-pot water. So yeah, with the gray water control regulation, there's a lot of stipulations that would have to go through, like approval plans. If you had it installed in your home, like Pikes Peak Regional or some other entity would have to come check that out. And yeah, so utilities' main interest in this, part of the statute that was passed was that entities would have to notify the local utility that these systems are being installed because we manage the backflow in our service territory. And so we would need to be notified, hey, this X home has a gray water system. That would need to be included in our list for inspecting for backflow and our compliance to protect our potable water system.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions, comments? Yes, Roy.
I guess the question I would have is if there's any water rights implications, and I'm just throwing the question out there because our decrees are pretty specific on where the water goes once it goes down the drain. And if you do something different, I wonder if you have to go back to water court to modify decrees.
Oh, I think that's going to be huge. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think every entity is different, right? And this is out of my lane. I want to make that clear. I've checked with our attorney and our water rights people, and they didn't, at least for utilities, didn't seem that there was an issue. But yeah, that's a good point to bring up because that, depending on your decrees and what agreements you have, that matters a lot, right?
Question.
Yeah.
I can see there's a big difference in a metro area, but now the question comes up in a rural, agricultural, there could be all kinds of opportunities. It's going into a septic. So the water right issue may or may not apply. So I don't know if there's, a difference between the two and whether or not it makes sense to even entertain it. But that's kind of another unique application.
Yeah, no, it is. And I mean, I'm on well and septic. I live in the county and I'd have to change all of my plumbing in my house. And I just don't want to spend 30, 40 grand to do that. And I'm just spitballing here, but I'm sure there's a cost here that's going to be out there too. But
well, then the next question is, you said sink, showers. What about the kitchen sink that you're going to have grease, and if you have a disposal?
That's gray water.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I think, there's got to be some sort of system in place. It can't just go to like a barrel, right? I mean, there has to be some sort of filtering process still involved, or no?
Yeah, and that's stipulated in Regulation 86. So I would defer to that for you to answer those questions. One thing I didn't mention that's critical with the House bill, this needs to be done January 1st, 2026. So the time is approaching to make a decision. So some of this is kind of a PSA to folks in the area that I haven't spoken to that are outside of our kind of territory. So just a friendly reminder, a friendly notification that I would encourage people to look into this to kind of make a decision.
Which House bill?
House Bill 241362.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Hearing none. Thank you so much. Now, this is something we're all going to have to tackle here very, very quickly. All right, item 6B. Angie.
All right, so I had sent out a few polls. I'm sorry, I sent those out multiple times. I just couldn't get a clear answer on where in the schedule it would work to move this meeting. Part of the reason to move the meeting is because where it's currently scheduled, it's on the same day as our CAC. And there's a question about what the CAC is. Every site application after Water Quality Management Committee goes to our CAC. So there's no time in between WQMC and CAC for me to do meeting minutes or even communicate our concerns about different applications to the CAC. So that causes some just internal, it doesn't work well for the system. So we want to move the meeting. And so the two options that came out on top on the poll were the first Wednesday at 9 a.m. or the first Tuesday at 9 a.m. These had pretty equal, people liked these meetings both. But I want to know if either of those dates don't work for anyone. Is there strong preference for either one? First Wednesday at 9 a.m. or first Tuesday at 9 a.m. So the first week of the month.
Yeah, this is Bill. Tuesdays, even though I'm not a voting member, so I'm not sure how much input I have, but Tuesdays are always out because that's our BOCC meeting.
The first Wednesday is the Pikes Peak Regional Water Authority at 9 o'clock, and they were there first.
Okay, so thoughts on, I guess, should we go back to the drawing board? We don't have a lot of options on our calendar as well. Does anyone have thoughts or suggestions on moving forward with how to reschedule this?
I guess I've got a question that if there's an issue of trying to get the meeting minutes and everything completed, should it not be that anything that was discussed during this meeting should really apply to the following month for action instead of trying to make it on the same day?
So if I'm hearing you right, so if they were heard, say CACs today, and they were heard at Water Quality Management Committee today, we'd put them on the next month's CAC?
For CAC, yes. So that would give plenty of time for if there's additional, instead of just moving it a day or whatever it is, it's just, it's understood that anything that is passed today would be heard the next month at the CAC.
That's a possibility. There are time limits on how long we have to review a site application, and that's pushing it because they've already gone through Lower Fountain and our SARC. So the whole process of hearing a site application does take a long time for the applicant, and that would add on another month for them. So we can make that adjustment in our 208 plan, but we can't make the adjustment in the Reg 22, which does have time limits too. And all the time limits are different on some of the different applications. So I don't have all those memorized, but.
Okay.
So I wouldn't suggest that, but if that was our only option.
So this month we're meeting on the third Wednesday. Does that work?
It works on our calendar, but my original poll, some people didn't think that worked.
Seems like you have all the heavy hitters in this room today, right?
Yeah.
And Kevin's here now. Running around.
Are there any
CSU,
objections?
you guys good with today?
Third Wednesday?
Let's just do it. Third Wednesday. Security, you guys are good? Seems like we have a consensus here of a new date.
If it really doesn't work for someone on the WQMC that's not here today, I might bring it up again.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fair. So moving forward, third Wednesday of the month. Okay. Got it. We don't need to make a formal vote on that, right? It was just a discussion item. Okay, thank you. Okay. Anything else on the, okay, thank you. Item number 7A, 2026 CDPHE, Angie.
All right. So I sent this out via email and I just wanted to make everyone aware that there is this grant. The due date is now approaching faster. Well, same pace, I guess. October 21st is a grant through the Water Quality Control Division. So if you hadn't seen my email on that, I put the information in your packet. Let me or Karen know if you are looking into this and you want some help. And that's all I got on that.
Okay, thank you. Next item is yours as well, the Colorado State Revolving Fund.
Yeah, and this, we've talked about the Colorado State Revolving Fund in the past, so I wanted to let everyone know that they now have a new online dashboard. So this document, I sent it to you in email and it's also in your meeting packet today. But if you want it, to just me email it to you again, let me know. It has all these links are active. If you are looking at applying to the SRF or you're not sure and you just want more information, their new dashboard is pretty awesome in terms of navigating that process and how much money there is. And so just letting you know that it's there as a resource.
Thank you. All right, item number 8, member entity announcements. Anybody have anything they'd like to bring up before the committee? Hearing none. I see Roger's mic's on, but I didn't hear anything from him.
This is Ann. Is this okay if I say something?
Sure, Ann.
I have moved to Iowa to be near my son and great-grandchildren and so forth. So I cannot represent Green Mountain Falls anymore, but I believe the trustees are making arrangements to appoint our town manager, Caleb Patterson. I'd still like to tune in because I'm really interested, especially in Regulation 43 and all the problems with sewer systems. So I just want to wish you well and thank you for everything that you do. Bye.
Thank you, Ann, and have fun with the grandkids.
I will. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
I just want to say thank you, Ann, also for being with us in these couple of meetings that you've been here for, and we like hearing from you. And yes, I'm confirming that Caleb, he is moving forward with our board approval to be the Green Mountain Falls representative.
Oh, good, because he'll really know things. I really didn't. I'm just very interested, so I appreciate. Thank you, and thank you, Angie, for what you're doing. Goodbye.
Any other member entities that would like to make a comment? Okay, hearing none. All right. Our meeting schedule is now set. And obviously we don't have anything. Angie will send out an email letting everybody know the meeting's been canceled. So next month, I just want to look at that calendar. Is that really close to Thanksgiving? No, 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, it's the week before. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, if nobody has anything else, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Thank you, everybody. Again, thank you, Angie, for keeping us on the straight and narrow. Thank you, Jared, for all your technical support. Everyone have a great day.